What is Sorare is a question I'm seeing from football fans all across the world, and ahead of the 24-25 season, which is set to be Sorare's biggest season ever, I thought it was the perfect time to make a video answering that eternal question of what exactly Sorare is. I've been playing the game myself for the last 4 years, so I'm pretty much in the best position to explain to anyone out there exactly what the game is, why football fans fall in love with it, can you actually make money from playing it itself, and what does make the game so special compared to every other football game out there. And Sorare themselves love the content here on the channel, so we've helped thousands of players actually pick up the game and start winning prizes, and they've given me a special link. It's in the description of this video. If you open up a Sorare account after watching this video or whatever, by clicking on that link in the description, you'll be supporting the channel, so I sincerely thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing that. But you'll also get yourself $50, pounds, euros, whatever your native currency is, of auction credit to help you go out and enhance your squad once you've bought 5 cards from the market. But on top of that, they are giving you, one person who clicks on that link before the beginning of the 24-25 season, a Premier League signed jersey of your choice, subject to availability. So the link in the description of this video is genuinely the best link you're going to find across the internet to get yourself started and up and playing with Sorare, with all the freebies and all the giveaway stuff that you could possibly get your hands on. At any point in the video, if you do laugh, you learn, you like something or whatever, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this, not just playing Sorare the game, but also reacting and analysing all the stuff that's going on in the transfer market, as well as following some major leagues and clubs across European and world football. And yeah, get into the comment section in this one, guys, if you have any questions, if you get stuck, if you need any help or whatever, and let's just get stuck straight into it. Sorare is the world's best global fantasy football game, and it's got the full Football Manager scope to it, with over 368 clubs licensed across world football, including 12 full league licenses, which means that Sorare is an official product of all these major leagues and clubs across world and European football especially. Now, Sorare is an online game, which means there's not new versions of it that come out every year, and it's got 2 basic game modes. Sorare Rivals is a mobile-first free-to-play game. You don't need to spend any money on this, and it's basically tapping in with whatever games you're watching on the TV or the team you follow if you can't actually watch the game. However it is you connect with football, you'll be paired up with someone at random, and it's about pitting your wits against picking the best 5 players in the game itself, with a little tactic that helps alongside. But the larger picture of this is it runs across a game week, a full calendar week, Tuesday to Tuesday typically, and you'll be paired up with 19 other people at random across the world, and depending on how you do versus them, you'll be promoted and relegated. And for competing and doing well in Rivals, which is completely free to play, you can get boxes just for hitting win streaks, for getting promoted, and a few other different challenges that are in the game. And inside those boxes are mystery signed shirts from Sorare's partners across the world, as well as in-game Sorare items like cards and essence and a few other bits and pieces. And it literally rewards thousands of football fans every week from playing the free-to-play mode. But if you do go out and pick up some of that official product that Sorare make, which is Sorare Cards, you can then play the Pro mode. Pro mode is where, there's a lot more money on the line, and this is where Sorare players do start to take the game a little bit more seriously. All of the clubs across world football are segregated into 3 regions. Champion, which is the top 5 leagues in world football. Challengers, which isn't, those guys, but still really good leagues like Holland and Turkey and America and stuff like that. And then you've got contenders, which is like Argentina, Scotland, Austria, Croatia, the kind of tier 3 leagues, as it were. On top of that, the Premier League, the Bundesliga and La Liga get their own league specific competitions if you just want to focus on the biggest leagues in world football. And then in every one of those competitions, there's a kind of a split. There's 2 sorts of competitions going on there. If you're buying Sorare cards that are in season, they are the cards that have been issued for the current season that we're in, then you can play the in season mode, which only rewards money. And this season, for the 24-25 season, Sorare are going to be giving away 15 million euros in prize money across the season. And then you've got the classic mode, which does reward some money at the very top, but it predominantly only rewards cards and Sorare in-game items. And to play this competition, you can have cards from any year. I've been playing this game for 4 years, so you might imagine some of my cards that I play in Classic are very old. And for me, that's what makes Sorare cards way better than FIFA cards. You don't need to buy new copies every year if you don't want to, but you certainly can, and knock yourself out if you do. But this game really does reward you for owning the cards and following the teams and players around European and world football that you really believe in, that you really want in your fantasy team, and that will make make the difference on the leaderboard for you versus the opposition out there. And Sorare hasn't really been much of a secret for too long. Sorare has got some amazing ambassadors and investors already associated with the company. We've already seen for the World Cup and for the Euros, Zinedine Zidane offer up his services as a top reward where people were getting to win playing five-a-side football with Zinedine Zidane. But Lionel Messi, Kylian Mbappe, Gerard Pique, Andre Schürrle, there is a litany, there is a washing list of superstar athletes and football players especially that are already playing Sorare themselves in a lot of cases, or have invested in, have ambassadored up with the company because they see, you know, really the hot spots that this game really does touch for football fans everywhere.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Can't wait what we can have in this pack. Amazing. Love it.
And like I mentioned with that Zidane thing, like genuinely the rewards on Sorare are second to none. I've seen people, honestly, I can't even begin to list the stuff that I've seen, but I've seen people win tickets to go to AC Milan in the Champions League, but it's an away game, and they go to Italy, they go to Milan, and they fly with the AC Milan team, I think it was against Chelsea, to be with the squad all the way on match day and everything as well. I've seen people go on pre-season with clubs. Real Betis, I think, went to Mexico and took some Sorare managers with them. I myself have been at hundreds of games. Sorare give away match tickets all the time. I've not been to hundreds, that's an exaggeration. It certainly does feel like it. VIP tickets and experiences are kind of everywhere. But for the last 2 years, Liverpool are a really big partner with Sorare, and they've let Sorare managers go and play football at Anfield. And these are managers that have got big Liverpool collections. They're big Liverpool fans that are on the game, and this for me is a real vehicle for clubs to really connect with their biggest fans, or fans that are really engrossed certainly with one of their official partners, as it were. So we've seen some major clubs across European and world football really go in the deep end with Sorare in terms of prizes, and I think it's really only a matter of time before that becomes much more widespread and much more well known. And that really is the magic of Sorare. It is a game made by football fans for football fans, and if you were to think about the perfect fantasy game, what would you want it to reward? You would want to win a bucket of money if you were good at it. You would want the opportunity to win things like tickets, signed shirts, unsigned shirts as regular ones as well, and the possibility that in special events and special competitions that money can't buy experiences could be one. It legitimately does have absolutely everything going for it. But one of the top things that I love about Sorare that really does separate it from every other fantasy football game that's helped me stay engaged with it for as long as I have is the scoring matrix. The Sorare scoring matrix runs from 0 to 100 and it's broken into two categories. One category is based on decisive actions. Every player that starts the game starts on a 35 score. If they come off the bench, they get 25. If they don't make an appearance, they've obviously get 0. And then based on the major decisive actions, positive and negative, that do happen in the match, then their decisive score will change from 35 to 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, or it will move backwards 35, 25, 15, 10. Red cards, own goals, giving away a penalty, scoring a goal, making an assist, last man tackle, clearance off the line. There's a lot of decisive actions that really do go into this. And in the other half of the score, it uses hundreds of in-game statistics, lots of the micro actions that we see, passes, duels won, tackles, interceptions, passes into the final third, shots on target, fouls, being fouled, conceding a goal, scoring a goal, obviously, that doesn't count as AA, that'd be a shot on target, big chance created, big chance missed. And because of that, when you complete your all-around score, which is, you know, lots of small actions that don't get many points, and you put it next to your decisive score, you get a wider range of scores from every player across European and world football. And although there still are meta players, the best cards, the best players are the best cards, there's no getting away from that. But so many guys, if they are good at football, they're important for their team and they perform well, are viable options, which means you don't need to just have the same team as everyone else and all the rest of it. And for me, the Sorare scoring matrix is not perfect. There's still maybe some adjustments they could make on it for sure. But for me, it is the most well-balanced, it is the most robust, and it is the most fairly rewarding scoring matrix I've ever came across in any football game, period. If you'd like more information on the scoring matrix and XP and all that kind of stuff works, I'll link a video in the top of the screen now, and you can go and check that out. And then slightly certainly on top of that, if you wanted to go right into the deep end of, you know, this, not just the scoring matrix, but how the scoring works and really how like any dog can have their day in the sun kind of thing, is every one of the Sorare cards has got a level from 0 to 20. It depends on how long you've had that card. It goes up the levels and it gets a little multiplier on its score. It's not normally anything big, maybe 5%, 10%. The biggest an XP score can go up to at the moment is 15% across the collection bonus as well as XP. We'll talk about collection bonus in a minute. And again, if you want a full explainer on XP and everything around that, I'll link it at the top of the screen now, and it will be linked in the description down below, so you can check that out later if you want. A lot of people that will be clicking on this video will want the question answered, really, of, you know, what is Sorare, but then how can you make money from it? How is money won from Sorare? Sorare this year, like I mentioned already, are going to be giving away 15 million euros in prize money, and that's going to be in the in-season competitions. If you want to play the in-season competitions with limited cards, which are very nominally priced, you need 4 cards out of your 5-a-side fantasy team to be in the 24-25 season, and that applies for rare, the red cards as well. But if you want to play with the super rares or the uniques, you don't need quite as many. 3 is all you will be required to play them. And the in-season competitions only reward money. But the other part of Sorare where money is kind of transacted, or where people can make money from Sorare, is the secondary market. Any cards that you own, you can list them for sale. Sorare sell their cards by eBay style auction and through an instant buy feature. But another way that Sorare managers get their cards is by buying them from other ones. So if you buy a guy when he's unknown, or he's not been playing well or something, and he's really, really cheap, and then he gets a lot better, or he starts to realize his potential, you can sell that guy into the market, and another Sorare scout or manager from around the world will pay more for a guy that is good versus a guy that could be good or looks bad. So the Sorare market itself is a huge part of how people, you know, make money from the game, as it were. Because yeah, getting into the leaderboards is very much achievable, but it's not that easy, and it's not something that will happen overnight. Whereas walking into the Sorare market and maybe getting a goalkeeper that's on the bench, or getting a wonder kid before a big transfer, that's a really fun and enjoyable part of the game that almost every Sorare scout and manager really does connect with, and, you know, is a part of the game where, you know, they make profit from. That's why I call them Sorare scouts and managers. But one thing Sorare has done over the last year, which has really taken it to the next level of fan engagement for football fans, is something I alluded to earlier, and that is the collection bonus. So if you just want to back your club, whoever it is you support, you want to adopt a club, you know, find a new team to support from the big leagues in Europe, if you don't live in any of those big leagues, for example, or, you know, it could be a number of things, but just by buying and playing with one team, one collection from the current year, you'll get an additional bonus, an additional XP that will, you know, help your cards score more points on the leaderboard. But what Sorare have been doing with the top collectors for the major clubs and leagues that they have really good licenses and partnerships with, is they give away things like signed shirts, they give away things like VIP experiences, etc, etc. And the collection bonus is Sorare's way and the club's way of identifying who are the biggest fans, and ultimately who's buying the most of their merch, who deserves to maybe get some match tickets, get some signed shirts, some money can't buy experiences. Like I mentioned with the Liverpool experience, the people that were invited to that were the top Liverpool collectors for limited, rare, super rare, whatever, you know. They just wanted the biggest fans to enjoy that experience, and that is something that, again, is quite at the early stages of Sorare. But the fantasy team you're going to build will probably be centered around a club or a couple of clubs predominantly. I would say, as a little pro tip to slide in here, that just having players from Man City or Arsenal or Real Madrid or whatever will do well, but you'll do much better by having 1 or 2 other players, like stud cards, come in that maybe don't play for as good a team, but they're the main guy and they take penalties or they score 20 goals a year or whatever. And having some of those guys kind of supplement your squad, that for me is the best way to go. But plenty of people start their club, start their journey with the clubs, the leagues, the teams, the players that they know. And Sorare really rewards you for, you know, engaging with the club that you support. And like I mentioned, I've been playing Sorare for 4 seasons, so my collections are quite widespread and quite eclectic. But I am most proud of probably my Celtic collection, which over the last 3 seasons has seen me win a lot of cards and do really good. But now I've got so many players that aren't just important players for Celtic, but some of them have moved across European and kind of world football as well, which gives me other options to play in competitions in different regions, with maybe the likes of my Real Sociedad collection that I built last year, or maybe the RB Leipzig collection that I built the year before that, or maybe even the New York City collection that I built 3 years ago. That collection I absolutely love, by the way, because that's the year that New York first won an MLS Cup, and all those cards basically the serial number matches the shirt number, so you get extra points for that. So I absolutely love all of these collections, and they all integrate with each other across the Sorare game, which means like me as a player, I am very different and distinct to almost everyone else out there. And that's one of the things that I hate about fantasy football and why I never normally play it. But it's like everyone's got the same team, and your intel and your foresight and your taste doesn't really, it's not able to be expressed in any way. And just really, like, for me, this is one of the things that I really just love about Sorare more than the money side of it, or, you know, the prizes or anything else. Is like, if you look at my club, you really get a sense of what kind of football fan I am. But Sorare is really made to be a game that you can engage with on a number of different levels, whether it be you want to be a deep end player like me and go the full football manager route, where you're looking at players and clubs from all over the world and you're paying attention to transfers and who's getting the goalkeeper job here and what manager's been sacked over there. Or you could do it as super passively and for as little budget as you absolutely want, with just, you know, tuning into the games you've got on the TV. And it really is a game where everyone wins as long as they kind of stay in, you know, what keeps them happy and motivated. In terms of, do you just watch lots of football and you just want to be engaged in the match? Or are you somebody that does like to follow players over their career? Have you got a club that you've really got a bit of a soft spot for at the moment, like Leverkusen or something? I don't know. And as I say, it just, every level of any football fan's engagement, their appetite for football, there is something here for it, which I absolutely love. I recently made a video on like how to open your account for Sorare without making any beginner mistakes or anything like that. That's on screen now, linked for you, as well as a playlist called New to Sorare Start Here, which has basically got all the videos that I've referenced in this video if you need it. Don't forget to jump into the comment section if you get stuck, or if you need any more questions answered, or any help or anything. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and share and retweet and all that good stuff. Stay out of trouble, and I'll catch you on the next one.